My late husband, Tim, he was a card. He had an amazing sense of humor, very sarcastic and quick-witted. It was hard to keep up with him many times.
He would make jokes that a lot of time would kind of go over your head and you wouldn't realize them until like a few seconds later. And then you'd notice he was smirking because he just kind of got away with getting you to think something wasn't true.
He was a cyclist, and he used to say that his best thinking was done when he would go out for long rides. He kind of reintroduced me to cycling too when we first started dating. For all the time that I knew him, he would try to push his emotions down, and I knew that, but I never realized how difficult those emotions were. I know that when he first started seeking treatment for his alcoholism, because at that his body had become kind of physically dependent on it, and so it was difficult for him to wean away from it, and he needed medical assistance for that. And in so doing, then he had different medications that he was taking, and I think that he didn't believe that he was in this path. He didn't believe that he was depressed.
I didn't really know he had it until like maybe the last few months, or pretty close until when he took his life, until the end.
Unfortunately, in our family, we've had a number of family members who've had cancer, and some have lost their fight with cancer, and some have, thank goodness, survived. The advice was to help them understand it in a similar way, that he had this depression that made him feel like there was no other way out. Some people can get treatment and help and survive their depression, and others can't.
I didn't really know if there was anybody that would help this disease because it didn't seem like it was that much help. Then I got this idea that I thought maybe a fundraiser. I knew my dad liked to ride his bike, so I decided to do a bike ride. And then we kind of looked for an organization that would help us. And we found Hope for Depression Research Foundation.
What sets us apart from other charities is the subject. Depression has been under-researched, underfunded for many years. And the fact that we are bringing attention to this major subject matter, it is the number one reason in the world for disability. That message has to get out there.
It kind of stood out, first of all, because it was yellow and that kind of popped when I got onto the website. I also liked that it focused more specifically on depression. It said that there were a large amount of people in the world that suffered from depression. I didn't really know that it was that common. I saw like how much money it was costing the US because people were out of work due to it.
Like 2 months later, we're putting together flyers, and he's telling me what to put on the flyers. I'm typing it out on there, and then he's saying 10 miles, and I'm like, oh, Shane, and you're 10 years old. And he just goes, duh. I'm like, oh, you picked 10 miles because you were 10 years old. Like, it just didn't even occur to me to ask him.
I expected to raise about $400. We wound up getting $4,000. It was extremely exciting.
That's shitty. It's extremely exciting.
Oh, man.
And that brings me to introduce a very special guest, Shane Boylan.
When the Hope for Depression Research Foundation had asked him to come and speak at their annual luncheon, I was just so thrilled. It was just such an opportunity for him to really get a chance to share his message and the work that he had done, and his chance to feel accomplished.
My name is Shane Boylan, and it is an honor to be here today with you. When my own father lost his fight with depression and he was taken away from me, I decided I wanted to do something to prevent this from happening to other people. I decided to raise money to help fund research that will find the answers to help other people, like my dad, and help families stay together. I am really happy that I could make a difference and turn something very difficult into something positive. Thank you for letting me tell you about my ride, and thank you for joining me in support of Hope for Depression Research Foundation.
was finished, he walked away from the podium, and the whole room stood up and gave him a standing ovation.
Thank you.
That was just remarkable.
Shane, everyone at Hope for Depression is so inspired and so impressed by you that we want your next bike ride to be on a brand new bike. And we even have a yellow and gray helmet for you.
What do you think of that?
Are you surprised?
Yes.
Well, you deserve it.
I am so remarkably proud of Shane for what he's done. The fact that he went that other step to try and do something to help the research so that other people wouldn't die from this disease. I really thought it's just going so far to really make things better for others.
I want people to know that it's a disease. It's not something that's like you can't just get over it. I think I'd like to keep it going. To try and raise a little bit more money every year to go to help research on this disease that kills a lot of people.